We still have 1 mile. Let's go. From 12 miles that was showing on board, we actually got, so we all know that usually people say manufacturer are bullshitting their customers when it comes to range. So what we're going to test out today is what's going to be the range. Is this Peugeot gonna bullshit us or not? We are going to have a 12-mile range and see exactly how many miles we are going to make real life with AC on. If by any chance this video is gonna get 1000 likes, we are going to buy a GoPro camera. Hello there guys, and welcome to yet another video on Sepa channel. Today we are going to test out this Peugeot 508 hybrid. It has 12 miles range on battery, or at least this is what it says. If you can see in there, 12 miles. Now the question is, with these 12 miles, is it going to be 12 miles of range real, or is it going to be some sort of less or more? At the moment we have 24,312 miles, so that's the mileage on the car, and we'll see exactly when the battery goes to zero how much we gonna have done in the journey. Now, very important, we are not going to drive like mad people. We are going to drive which I call a taxi driver way, so calm, nice, and we're going to take advantage of the regeneration, which is the B mode. By the way, if you want to put the car in a B mode, you're gonna have to first put it in D, and then if you do it once again, you're gonna put it in B. Let's go. Let's see exactly how it's gonna work out. Handbrake. Let's reverse a little bit. This is gonna be fun to take out. The good part about this car is that with the help of the camera in the back and the sensors, obviously the fact that you have a sensor in the front and in the back, I mean, the odds of you actually messing up the car are quite low, or you have to be very sloppy. I guess that's the only thing you can do. So right now it's in a B mode, so regeneration mode. Obviously they couldn't use a R, you can't have double R. Obviously R is for reverse, and so they had to use B, which God knows what it actually stands for. Might be very interesting. If you guys know, please write down in the comment below so we find out what B stands for at electric cars. What can it be?
Braking.
Braking? Braking might be. Now we are going to drive it's like a mix city, but you know, very nice. Just gonna behave. We're not going to accelerate too much. That's actually a good idea. Note the AC it's on, which obviously that's using power also. Now this is quite of a steep slope, and I hope the 1.6 petrol engine is not gonna kick in. If you use the trip control, there are very big chances for you to avoid that. As long as you're just not gonna accelerate like mad, it's just gonna work out, no problem. Let's see if we can keep it in full electric the entire drive, the entire 12 or God knows how many miles. Just imagine if we could do like 16. That could be nuts. Cruise control activated, 30 miles per hour. Oh, and guess what? after this video, we're actually going to do a video in which we're going to test out how much mileage the car puts on if we charge it for 60 minutes, for 1 hour. So, you know, it gives you the chance to, in this video, to check how much he's actually doing, like real trip, and then you'll be able to see in 1 hour how much you can charge it from zero. So most important, it's going to be from zero. Obviously, if you are just going to follow the guides from the manufacturer, you are going to see around how much. But I guess everybody will agree saying that in real world, sometimes those numbers, they just don't add up. So we're going to test that. Trip control 40 miles per hour.
Already 9 miles.
Yeah, that's very nice, mate. Don't do it like that. So we have already how much? 3 miles used, but how much in real? We have 24,313 miles on board and 3 miles being used. So that's gonna be interesting to see. It's still going on full electric. You do have the option, by the way, to change it between sport, hybrid and electric. So right now, obviously, it's in electric, and we did learn how to drive the car in such a way in which we minimize the chances of the petrol motor to kick in. So far, so good. What I can tell you for sure, pretty much without anything, and that works with any car, the more you use the trip control, the so-called autopilot, the better mileage you're gonna get from. It literally doesn't matter. It can be petrol, it can be hybrid, it can be electric. So the more you're gonna use the trip control, the better mileage you're gonna get for the fuel or for the power that you have in the battery. Now obviously with this one is like cheating a little bit because when you're hitting the brake, it's just, you know, regenerating the battery a bit. Man, I love the animation on this car, literally.
Explain it.
Right, so good point. Animation in the car. You have the battery here, and you have the engine, which is in here, and then you have like the transmission bit between the engine, the wheels, and the battery itself. So when it's all blue, it's pretty much when the battery is being used, which obviously will be used all the time. When the car is moving forward, that's when it's using the battery. So you'll see the animation with this bit being blue. If you can see, it becomes blue, and also the wheels, they are all having those blue lines. When it's not using any power to move forward, is not gonna be anything in there. And when you see it green like this, it means the regeneration works, so it puts back a battery, like power in the battery itself. Now when it comes for the petrol engine to kick in, you will see like a yellow orange color from the motor, and also you'll see the lines and everything. It shows you exactly where the power comes from and where it goes, you know. So it comes from the battery, goes to the wheels, or if it comes from the wheels and regenerating the battery. Same goes for the engine. If it goes 100% towards the wheels, you're gonna see that. If it goes like half to the wheels, half to the battery, also you're gonna see that. There are multiple options. You also have an option. You see it here is green. That's just because we are driving on a slope, so it's just doing it by itself, you know. The good part about trip control is that, let's say if you set it at 25, if by any chance the car usually will move forward. So we have it on 25 right now, yeah, and right now, because there is a slope, the car will brake by itself in a way, but instead of using the braking discs, right, it's using the regeneration. So you are going to get some power, and also you are going to save yourself for having to change, you know, the braking pads and the braking disc and whatever too often. So in a way, it's a win-win situation, no matter how you put it. You do have different options here with statistics, which, by the way, the statistics, I think they are a bit, I don't know, a bit odd in my opinion. I mean, I do understand the fact that right now it says 100 miles per gallon, and I think the motor kicked in. Oh no, it didn't. Big kudos. I think it might be the first trip when I get 100% electric out of it, literally. That's great. So, statistics. I find this MPG sometimes very confusing. So, obviously, if you guys have a bit more experience with the MPG and what exactly shows you, that will be very helpful. I will say 100 miles per gallon, it's the actual consumption at the moment, but I don't know, it's a bit weird because we haven't used it not even once, like not even a second. So I don't know how it got 100. That's where it says how many miles you can get per kilowatt hour, which is at the moment 2.7. You do have the option in which you can automatically charge it, as an example, at home during different times. And this is an e-save where you can actually save battery if you want to make sure you're not going to have less than, like, let's say 6 miles or something like that, which means every time you're going to get under 6 miles, it's going to force the motor in putting some power into the battery. The good part about this car, another good part, is the fact that you have a camera that reads the signage on the road, so you know what speed you are allowed to drive. Obviously, it might not be 100%. Nothing is 100%. You still have to rely on your eyes, obviously, but it's pretty much a very good. It's a very good indication on, you know, what you're supposed to drive with. So there is a chance you're gonna save at least 1 speed tickets every 1 or 2 years. Happy days. We're driving with 50 miles per hour. Let's put it to 60. Another thing, if you are accelerating, let's call it accelerating by using the trip control. Yeah, so if you change the speed that the speed that you are supposed to have on the trip control, the chances of the petrol engine kicking in, it gets to pretty much zero, because the car will know how much to accelerate in order to make sure that's happening properly. So right now, I'm not hitting the brake. The only thing I did was just to drop the speedometer. How is it called? Trip control meter. How is it called?
The speed range.
Speed setup. Speed
the number.
Yeah.
Miles per hour.
So we
setting.
we just dropped the miles per hour setting, you know, for the trip control from 50 to 30. And instead of me using the brake, the car just did it by itself, which is nice. A second thing that you can do, if you don't want to use the brakes too often, is to just deactivate the trip control, and then if you have it in B, in regeneration, it's pretty much gonna, well, start regenerating, which means will decrease the speed of the car automatically. Therefore, again, putting back some energy, some power into the battery, and saving braking pads.